Ladies, gentlemen, and everybody in between, thank you for joining me. This is a quick rant on something that's been on my mind for a very long time. I've been thinking about it. I haven't had a 2K20 rant video since probably November, December. Why? Because I felt as though in my best interest to keep my soul cleansed from despicable anger towards this horrendous piece of software put forth by 2K Games. That being said, we fast forward now into the month of April. There's all kinds of madness going on in the world. Stay home, social distancing, this, that, and the third, pandemic, yada, yada, yada. It's crazy. So the one thing I had in my head regarding the future of the 2K franchise, in my head I'm thinking, nah, there's no way that we're gonna have a 2K21 because 2K20 is a disaster. It feels like there's something gonna happen. And lo and behold, today, as of April 11th, 2020, a video dropped by one Violent Lee, aka Justin Leaper, used to work for THQ back in the day in the road to WrestleMania. He dropped a video that says 2K21 canceled, reliable sources, the non-sim WWE game out in 2K20. And basically, I'll leave a link below in the description where you can check that video out as well. And he's outlining the fact that he has from reliable sources. Now, mind you, this is unconfirmed. This hasn't been posted. That he has news that 2K21 is indeed canceled. So let's look at the facts that were presented in front of us, and we can go from there and draw our own assessment to that. Because again, none of this has been confirmed. This could all be hearsay. This could all just be, just a smoke in the wind, if you will. But think about it. WrestleMania, post-WrestleMania, there's always some kind of miniature content, whether it be a quick video, a logo, something. We haven't gotten that. That's what he also pointed out in the video. But me personally, I'm going to divert and I'm going to say I felt like this was coming because 2K21 was such an utter fucking disappointment to any wrestling fan, period. Now, I know there's some people, especially if you go to Reddit, oh, this is the best game ever and da da da. Even today, I see some of my members, they're using 2K20 for PC modifications. And you know what? In that aspect, you're actually getting your money's worth because you can mod the shit out of it. And even though the game is a buggy mess, you can still use the power of the wonderful PC master race to circumvent the fuckery and stupidity and get a somewhat playable experience when you want to show your content to the world. And if you're a guy who's just playing exhibition matches, you can do that. If you want to do universe mode, it's touch and go. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. If you're editing a car, you can edit your car. Your logo will disappear. What happened to it? I don't know. That being said, the game is still a disaster. 2K is still time after time providing a sale upon sale upon sale upon sale. Never in the history of this franchise have I seen so many sales on one specific game. Mind you, if you go right now to purchase 2K19, WWE 2K19, you'll see that it's almost at full price or near full price. But if you go to purchase 2K20, it's once again on sale and you can get it for $20. That says something. If you look in the news back in the day, they specified that 2K20 did not perform as expected because it was a trash game. Now, this is not to knock the developers, even though in the past I have. It's not really their fault that they got put in the position they did by WWE 2K. If they were smart, if 2K was smart, they would postpone these releases and have them done, every 2 years. But is it bi-yearly? I don't know. I'm not an expert. But instead, they want that cash grab. They want to treat this like the NBA franchise with way less of the budget. And here we are. So now, we've learned that there may not be a 2K21. We may be stuck with 2K20. That may be the worst possible outcome for people who want to play online. But there's a silver lining. There's a non-sim game, potentially, allegedly, this is all hearsay, this is not 100% accurate, I don't know, in the works. What do you know? Maybe we'll have a WWE All-Stars type game. I wasn't such a big fan, but, it was fun. It was okay. Or maybe even something more akin to Here Comes the Pain. Now, I know the rumor mill is buzzing around that Ukes is gone, taking their ball, and after they were removed by 2K, and are in the works of something of that caliber. And I cannot wait. If you play Here Comes the Pain on your PS2 or via emulation, you'll have a grand old time because it's just, at the end of the day, it's a fun game. And that's what we lost as the years progressed. We've gone into this weird simulation era where the game isn't actually fun. The fun is watching the game, but even still, it's not as immersive as something like a Fire Pro World, where your edits, aka cause, can react the way you want them specifically, as opposed to the WWE 2K cause. They only have a certain set of AI patterns that they'll always, follow. You can't make your guy be specifically a certain type of way. You can't make him opt to use his patented finishing flashing elbow maneuver at critical points in the match. You can't do that. You just put him out there and hopefully he does what you want him to do, and then you have a good old time on your stream or your YouTube or whatever it is that you do. So what is the future for the 2K franchise? You go online, you see people complaining, get rid of these motherfuckers, and I agree with them. 2K has done, they've progressively gotten worse. And when you thought they peaked, 2K19, for all of its faults, would be the peak of the series in terms of playability, functionality, customization. It would be the peak, and then you would expect that the following game, 2K20, would work upon that and make that better. But that wasn't the case, because as we learned, the whole bait and switch and getting rid of Ukes and this whole nonsense, and now we're stuck with visual concepts and this dumpster fire of a game that's basically WWE 2K18 reskinned with a bunch of horseshit that nobody cares about. Nobody cares about spoopy Wasteland Warriors. Nobody cares about Mr. In the Future nonsense. Nobody cares about Southpaw Wrestling add-on. They literally has maybe 2 people from the original Southpaw Wrestling 1 and 2. Nobody cares about that. It's just spoopy dress-up bullshit that nobody asked for. That's the bottom line. The only reason it's there is because they can't figure out mechanically how to make the game more fun, despite having these new convoluted controls that actually make performing certain finishers a 3-button chore. I don't understand where that came from. I'm not going to go back into that. That's stupid. It is what it is. We're done with that. We're done with the stupidity. But the question is, what happens now? What happens now as a player who wants to create content in 2K20, or rather who wants to just create content in the 2K series? You may or may not know that on May 31st, 2020, the 2K19 servers will be quote-unquote grandfathered. What does that mean? That means that 2K is well within their right to cut off the servers. For, to give you an end of the other flip of the coin, you have SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, which is on the Xbox 360. The servers to this day are still active. So if you fire up your Xbox 360, you fire up your SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, you can right now play virtually lag-free SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 right now, if you so choose. However, if you want to play 2K19 in June online with your friends, you might not have that option. There is a petition, and I'll link that below as well, to keep the 2K19 servers open. And quite frankly, if 2K wants to salvage any bit of reputation, they'll at least give the option to do so. I'm thinking they might, just from the simple fact that if you notice, the uploader specifies between the 2 different games, 19 or 20. That's a good sign. If they didn't have any intention of keeping that, if they didn't have any intention of keeping 2K19 active just a little bit longer, we wouldn't have that option. But at the end of the day, it comes to bean counters, suits, corporate interests, and basically people who don't give a fuck about us as consumers or players. They only care about the bottom line, and that's the dollar bill, y'all. That's basically it. If anyone tells you differently, they're jaded, they're delusional, and they're probably stupid. It is what it is. Such is life. So there's a petition. I would recommend that you sign it. Will it make an impact? Will it make a difference? I don't know. My hope is that people see this and say, well, there is a concern, there is a love for at least one of our platforms, and we should do our best, our due diligence, to stand by these fans who are trying to stick by us. Will that happen? Who knows? I'm more of a pessimist, because I honestly do not believe in my heart of hearts that 2K gives a flying shit about any consumer or any player. If you look at the Switch version of 2K18, that's further proof. I don't see that happening. But if there is any hope, any chance, you can click on that link in the description and let your voice be heard, and who knows, maybe we'll have the game extended. Now the next question is, what can we do to keep this thing going? There's some ideas that we have in my head, or I have in my head rather. I'm thinking, if let's say in some weird, strange fantasy world, 2K gets their head out their ass and they say, you know what? We did really shitty by our consumers. We did really shitty by our fans. We did really shitty by the people who have supported us since we took over the franchise. Let's do something to earn their trust back, and at the same time make a little money, because you know what, at the end of the day, a company needs to make money. No question about that. That's basically the point. No question. No ifs, ands, or buts. They got to make some money. So what I'm proposing, and I don't know if this is possible, maybe it is. I'm not a programmer. I'm not an expert. I'm just thinking outside the box, especially if you look at PC models for 2K19 and 2K20. You know, they produce so much content. You're like, how do they do that? And then you have developers who actually at a snail's pace. Go figure. Anyway, I'm thinking, let's say they decide to keep 19 open for a couple of more months, or maybe even a year. Who knows? But they want to make money on 19. What can you do? Here's an idea. Maybe some of those moves that you have in 2K20, maybe offer them as DLC packs for 2K19, as add-ons, if you will. You can build, if you got a couple dozen moves and maybe a couple edit pieces, you know, similar to Fire Pro, where they have these little packs that they put out every couple of months, and those are actually worth it, because Fire Pro actually improve their DLC, while expensive, actually improves upon the base experience. This is something that 2K should actually learn. You know, at one point they had a similar structure, but it wasn't fleshed out enough, and it was quite frankly stupid, because if it's a yearly release, the point is moot. But in this case, you know, with the possibility of no 2K21, you can actually get more from your 2K19 fans. You can get more from them, maybe even some from your 2K20 fans. But for 2K19, if you offer new moves, new call parts, maybe from 2K20 to 2K19, I wouldn't be opposed to it. If I see, like, you know, some specific edits, oh, hey man, look at that. Is that Keith Lee moveset? Is that some Keith Lee parts? You know, how much is that? $5, $10? All right, let's go for it. That might be something to get some longevity going. Because at the end of the day, we're losing. Our fans of the game are losing, and it is what it is. So if you have any suggestions on how to keep things moving, if you have any ideas, any thoughts and hopes, any prayers, let us know. Thank you.